Okay, so I wanted to do a video basically on something I was watching basically. Um I've been watching a couple videos I guess on certain people and certain scenes of lifestyles, I guess you could say, with hookup culture and things of that nature. You know how, for example, Kevin Samuels talks about some women who may find that they basically are put into a certain frame, so to speak, where men will put them in the frame of a woman who they're supposed to, use sexually but don't really want to be in a relationship with, and things of that nature. For me, I find quite the opposite. And I guess as I get older, it's okay because it's kind of like, well, when you're younger, you kind of are like more at that wild stage that you just want to have fun kind of thing. But as you get older, you kind of want to settle a little bit. And I always notice men never really saw me as the hookup type of girl. And I was watching a few videos of someone else. I watch from time to time. I watch them every now and then. And they're very insightful with certain things they talk about. I know a lot of people would find it weird that I am subscribed to that channel. And why I watch the channel, it's basically to show the mindset of certain individuals, basically, and how people go about getting what they want and things of that nature. What some people want, what some people look for whatever they want in their personal lives, be it relationships, dating, marriage, hookups. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Run the whole gamut of the whole situation. And I've always felt like, for me, in the dating scene where I'm at, I don't know if everyone knows, I am in Vegas, right? So, I mean, people know that that's the city I live in. Um, so for me, it's like I've always had it where a lot of people come here who are party type people. They are more the type that just want to, get drunk. They want to do all sorts of weird drugs. you know, they see that as a fun time, which I never really understood why altering your mindset would be something that would be fun. I don't understand really. Like when I think of fun, I think of other things that are fun to me. And I don't really like to get into that because I kind of feel like maybe I'm just the weird one when I think of like doing things that are exciting are fun, but not putting some weird substance in your body is fun. This is a major thing for me, when I was younger. When I would want to, have situations where I just want a short term sexual, experience or hook up, so to speak. It would always be annoying because people would always bring up alcohol. And I would always be like, I do not have any affinity towards alcohol, nightclubs, or bars. In fact, I mean, I've gone to bars, honestly. I have gone to bars. Um, I've never gone to bars for drinking, for finding anyone, for my own personal interests. The only time I've gone to bars, really honestly, was when I would actually do this outreach program for gay men. That's the only time I've ever gone to bars to give out condoms and stuff. Yeah, I'm one of those annoying people, basically. But that's the only time I've ever actually gone to bars. Um, I've never actually gone to bars for my own personal gain. And then, oh yeah, I've also gone to bars, nightclubs, and strip clubs when I worked for them as a promoter. Because out here we have a lot of promoters. And as a female, it's really good money being a promoter. Um, so, I mean, I've done that. And in those situations, I've never drank. It makes no sense. Why would you drink when you're trying to get other people to drink and spend money? And, you know, if you're drunk on the job, you're not going to be as sharp. So, anyway, like, I guess to me, bars and nightclubs and things like that to me are uncomfortable to me unless I'm doing something. Like, am I trying to get someone in for money? Am I trying to pass out condoms to somebody? But other than that, it has no purpose to me because it's like I don't drink. Like, I'm honestly scared of alcohol. I am. Because my father, he had some alcoholic problems, I think. And I think that's genetic. So I've never wanted to be in a bar or in nightclubs or anything of that nature for my own purpose. And then it's not just that, it's also being a female. To me, bars and nightclubs are scary. And any place where there's alcohol is scary. There's so many reasons for this. One, because if you're female, well, you are vulnerable. And considering I'm vulnerable and I'm black, nobody is going to stand up for me. That's just how I see it, you know. And so I'm going to be trying to fend myself among a whole bunch of drunk and altered men. Like, that doesn't seem very safe. Added to the idea that I'm not attracted to every man. There could be plenty of men who are, for example, um, have a phenotype, have a racial background, have a certain age that I don't prefer. And they could be interested in me, and I'm not interested in them. And they are now altered. You don't want to deal with a drunk man who you aren't interested in, who's interested in you. You know, you're putting yourself in an extremely unsafe situation. I grew up kind of taught that like nightclubs and bars and situations like that are prime situations to get raped. That's how I was taught as a child by my mother. So that's why for me, I am very scared of situations like that to me. I mean, I have made it this far without that happening, and I like to keep it that way. You know, I don't want to be traumatized, you know. So for me, it's just like, you know, I guess it's a safety thing for me. And, you know, I would not want. Another thing is this, like, if you're involved with a man and you're trying to hook up with a man who is inebriated, how good is he gonna be in sex? Is he really gonna be able to please me? Like, I don't know about that. Because think of it, when men have alcohol in them anyway, their performance goes down, right? So why would I want a man whose performance has gone down? This is why, you know, the whole hookup culture with alcohol involved weirds me out. Because it's like, okay, well, if you have alcohol in your system, I'm sorry about that. But I think I just had an update of some sort. Anyway, but yeah, that's just the main thing I just don't like. You know, with alcohol being involved, it's like his judgment is messed up. Okay, because he's altered. He has alcohol in his system. So why would I want to be around someone who's bigger and stronger than me, who's altered? That's not that doesn't sound safe to me. And it's not just that to me. It's also the fact that, you know, like I said, it's not going to be as good of sex cuz he's altered. He's not going to be at his best basically. And personally, I honestly think, how do you make the best choices while drunk? And why does anyone want to elect to make the poor choices while drunk? Like, why would you want to sign up for that? I don't understand that, you know? And I think that's why, for me, a major thing is with hookup culture out here, it's like I find that I'm often framed as kind of like the girlfriend or like someone who wants to date long term. Not really like the girl who's for one night. Simply because I just am not really into the whole bars, nightclub scene, parties, or like drinking or drugs or anything. I just am not into that. And to me, like, I've had men always talk about substances in regard to, trying to do something, basically, hook up and stuff. And it would always be like, that's just not for me. And when they find out that I'm not an alcoholic, or I'm sorry if it's wrong to call those people alcoholics, but I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm saying someone who drinks. I'm a teetotaler. Um, when they find out that I'm a teetotaler, they usually think I'm like, I guess, someone who's religious, or like who's like saving themselves for marriage or something. Especially when I was in my early 20s, and everybody knows, like, for me, I was virgin for a long time. If you add the fact that I was not one to drink, I'm Muslim. I don't know if I've said that on my channel before, but I am Muslim and was virgin at that time. It was hard, honestly, because a lot of the time people framed me in that idea. And it was always like, you're always a good girl, but you're not really a good girl. Can you be a bad girl who's actually smart? Like, that's my thing. It's like, I'm not dumb. So I'm not going to make poor choices or stupid choices when it comes to situations like that. I like to stay alive. I like to stay whole, not traumatized or any problems going on. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, I guess I'm more protective of myself, because why wouldn't I be protective? I mean, I only got one life to live, you know? So, I mean, why would I just try to mess it up by a one night stand that probably isn't even going to be all that good, even if it was nothing dangerous? So, I don't know. It's just like often I find that I'm framed in the idea of something long term. People always talk about women always being framed as the woman who's just for one night, but I never really am. Like, I think so many things that they say are associated with women one night, I don't really have in common with them. Like, for example, people will talk about tattoos, people will talk about substances, things like that. It's just like always seen with me, like, men always act like I'm not one of those girls. And like I'm trying to look for something long term, even though I never said I was looking for anything long term. And in my youth, I never really was. So that's all I have to say here.